biggest moves of the offseason, the Suns getting Bradley Beal. How do you see that fit panning out, and do you like that move for the Suns?
I do like the move for the Suns. I do think just adding another guard that can put some pressure on the rim is going to be very important for them. Adding another pull-up threat, someone that can carry more of the offensive load so Devin Booker doesn't have to carry as much. I do think Bradley Beal, 1, a really good driver, 2, a very good pull-up shooter, 3, a good movement shooter so you can add some more variety into the offense for. So Chris Paul last year obviously can shoot, but you're not getting that off-ball stuff from him. It's more so going to be spacing. So adding some diversity there. Also another person that you trust to kind of carry that second unit when Devin Booker or Kevin Durant off the floor. And for the price that it took, I think you do that 10 out of 10 times. So I like it a lot.
When you, because the obvious comparison is the Brooklyn Nets Big Three with Kevin Durant. That's the kind of baseline that everybody keeps comparing it to, but you kind of touched on it. It feels like this Big Three is maybe a little more interchangeable in terms of being able to play on and off the ball. How do you see those Big Three kind of working together?
I think the off-ball viability of those 3 is going to be huge. We know what Devin Booker can do in the different sets they can use him in. Same thing for Bradley Beal. He made a life out of it in Washington, first playing off of John Wall, and then still having that element to his game as he took on more on-ball responsibility in Washington. So I like that, and then we don't have to spend too much time on what Kevin Durant can do off the ball. So, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of my turn, your turn, his turn too type with those 3. I do think the gap between the passing with this Big Three versus the Brooklyn one is going to be something to monitor, but you have 2 guards that can pressure the rim like that, and you have Kevin Durant that's going to draw 2 to the ball. I think they'll be able to generate enough attention to where you can still create some of those similar advantages from defenses. So I like the fit, honestly. I think we need to see them play 60 games together. That's going to be the big thing. But aside from that, I think you can make it work.
Where do you kind of stand on Deandre Ayton? Because obviously this is a guy that 2 years ago was pivotal in their run to the finals, especially defensively. Kind of regressed a little bit last year in that category, but now Vogel's coming in. Do you like that fit, and what do you see for him this upcoming season?
It really depends on him, as reductive as that may sound. You touched on it. We saw what it looked like when he was engaged on both ends, when he was doing the little things, grabbing boards, running the floor hard, sealing early, doing his work early, defensively being engaged, a little bit of switching, but mostly being more solid in the drop. We've seen what he can do on both ends of the floor. When he isn't engaged and he's taking these turnaround 14-footers early in the shot clock, he isn't screening that hard, isn't rolling that hard, the opportunities aren't going to be there for him. It just becomes a self-feeding loop. I don't get the ball, but you're not getting the ball because you're not getting yourself open, and thus, here we go. So depending on what the relationship between him and Frank Vogel is going to be like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see top 8 center Deandre Ayton next season. It also wouldn't surprise me if he's close to 16th or 17th in value and we hit December 15th and it's well, all these deals are open. Let's see what we can move for Deandre Ayton. So I just want to see how engaged he's going to be.
The Suns obviously had limited room to work with, limited flexibility, but they did a really nice job with their vet minimums. What do you think of their offseason and some of the guys they were able to get?
Well, they signed Bobo, so once you throw him in there. But no, in all seriousness, I think they did a really good job considering the limitations that they had with the cap. I think Suns fans are really going to enjoy KBD. I think he's going to be fun defensively. And if the shooting proves real, I think I tweeted about it once the signing came through. I think it can be the steal of the offseason if the shot really holds firm for him. Just someone that knows how to connect, can knock down some shots, and defensively can guard all over the place. And if Phoenix is going to lean more into switching, which is what I think based on the personnel that they have and what they've added so far, I think they're going to lean more into the switching than they did last year. I think it just works. And you add Eric Gordon, who can slip a little bit defensively, but obviously can't guard up a position because of how strong he is. That's another switch guy. You bring Josh Okogie back, can defend his tail off at the point of attack. I think they have enough to formulate top 12 defense. And you look at the offensive potential of this group, top 12 might be all they need to really be an elite team, again, provided that they stay healthy. But I love it. You get Utah in there. I think there's a level of lineup versatility that they have. They really addressed the corner shooting thing in particular based on what happened in that Denver series. So I liked a lot of their moves. I think they did a really good job.
So the big question, obviously, how much closer are they to Denver now? Denver lost Bruce Brown, but they've still got their starting 5. They've still got a little bit of depth. Where do you see the Suns kind of matching up against them at this point?
I think they have the top end talent advantage overall. You just add their 3. Obviously, Jokic is the best player of the bunch. I think they can compete. I think it feels like a gamble on, okay, we may not be able to defend Denver. Jokic is too unique, too good. We can't do that. We can put up 125 to 130 every night. And if we get a night or two where they don't shoot well from 3, and Denver had some of those in the postseason and still won some of those games anyway, but they've had those. we feel better equipped that we can match the firepower if we can't slow them down. And so, like, I think it's fair to put them in that top 3, top 2 in the West. I don't know if I can put them past Denver yet. Just you want to respect the chance, but also Denver just poses so many problems for you in a playoff setting. But I think Phoenix is set up to contend very much, and if they stay healthy, they hit their top end, they can be the best team in the West. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all.